Okay, guys, I'm going to show you something seriously cool tonight. It is how to create text to video images. They're really only about 2 to 3 seconds, but this is just the starter stuff. There's obviously advanced ways that you can make these things and then just continue growing them. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a pretty easy Python install. I know this stuff is kind of intimidating, and honestly, it's kind of hard to find how to do this, a lot of stuff. So I'm going to actually walk you through here, and we're going to create some pretty impressive little 2 to 3 second vids that, hey, then you can tweak out on later. So, and I'm going to show you some other cool stuff, that ideas that, you can do. But anyway, first, let's go over here to the internet. Now, this is the page we're going to go to. I'll put the link in the down in the description. So we're just going to kind of do a quick thing. This is an animated Diff, so that is a model that is specifically trained to do these kind of things. So this is a very cool one I found, this Animate Diff Lightning. Now when you find cool stuff like this, you can scroll down and they sometimes will show you, there it is, how to use it. Okay, so we're just going to copy all of this. We're going to highlight it. I'm going to press Control C. Okay, straighten my camera. Okay, I'm going to press Control C. Then we're going to pop over to our command terminal. Now, in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just create a file to run it in. So let's just type Notepad, and I'm going to type, let's call it animate.py. So we're going to be doing this in Python. Okay, so we type this, and that pops up a notepad screen, and it's going to say, do you want to create a new file? Now hold on, let me get this for you so you can see it. Okay, so here's our notepads. We typed in notepad and then typed animate.py, so that opens up our notepad thing, and it asks us if we want to create a new file, which we then click yes. So I'm going to hit Control P, because now it's good to learn this stuff, but honestly we're trying to get it going, so you'll memorize it over time. The more you use it, the more you'll figure this stuff out. But right now, we just need to get in here. All of these up here, these are your import files. So we're going to have to install these packages to use them. What they're essentially doing is they're telling the code that it's going to need to import some different modules out of these packages. Okay, so that's what that is. And then all the rest of this is the actual code. So we'll go ahead and let's press Control S, because we already opened it up as animate.py. It's going to save. Now I'm going to show you something. We're going to go back to our terminal here. Now if we typed, to run a Python file, we type Python, okay, and then you type the name of the file. Now watch, if we type animate.py, it's going to throw an error, because it's not going to know where any of that stuff is that we've asked it to load. Okay, so it doesn't know where torch is. It has no idea where these things are. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop back to our code, and we're going to see, okay, we need to import torch. We're going to need to import diffusers, Hugging Face Hub, and then this one should actually be part of torch. But so let's go ahead, go back to the internet. Now you'll remember this page before that I have shown you, so you must write it down. We're going to type torch install. Okay, it's going to click on this start locally, and then we're going to go down here and we're going to pick our format. So we're going to just do pip install Python 11.8. So we're going to grab this, okay, and Control C it. Then we're going to head back to our terminal window. Now, before we actually install that, let's really quick create an environment for this. So let's go conda create, and we're going to go dash name. So we're telling conda to create an environment, and then we're saying the name of it is going to be animate. Okay, and then let's just give it a common Python. We'll give it 3.10.11. That's a Python that works really good with almost everything. So just choose that one. It's good. We'll click that. This is going to come up here, and it says, do you want to proceed? Here, let me make this a little bit smaller for you. Okay, so do you want to proceed? I want to proceed with a smaller screen is what I want to do. All right, so we're going to click yes. Okay, so it's going to go ahead and create the Conda environment. Now remember, we have to activate it. Activate, animate. Okay, so now you'll see that we're in our Conda environment. Now we can fool around without worrying about polluting our stuff. So we're going to go ahead and Control V into this. This is going to pip install torch. Okay. So let's go ahead and hit that. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and do make sure our CUDA toolkit's working. We're going to go Conda install -C NVIDIA. So we're telling it to look in the NVIDIA package, and then we'll just try the CUDA toolkit equals 11.8. Now I'm not certain that this was necessary, but again, it doesn't hurt, and especially it's probably not that necessary because we're doing very basic code, but it's a good habit to get into. So all done. Now let's paste in the pip install the torch. Okay, so this takes forever. We're not going to need all of this because it's also, you'll see, is in it's going to do audio and all. It's got the audio we don't need, but whatever, it doesn't matter. We just want to get going. You'll see it's quite a big install. So that's going to go. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here for just a minute because this does kind of take a bit of time. It could take several minutes. So let's pause this and I will be right back. Okay, we're back and this has finished installing now. So now we're going to go back over. Let's figure out what the next thing that we need is. So we'll go back to our code and we need the diffusers and we're going to need the Hugging Face hub. So let's click back, dupe, and we're going to type in pip install diffusers. Okay. So then I'm going to go back to my code here while that's loading, and I'm going to highlight the Hugging Face hub. Okay. We're going to do the same thing, pip install the Control V Hugging Face hub. Okay. So that's going to go ahead and install that. And I believe the safe tensors.torch is already, safe tensors is part of torch because, yes, the dot. So I don't think that that's going to do anything. Yep. Okay, whoops, pip install. But that dot in there tells it it's a package within torch, so it's not going to matter. All right, yeah, see, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now let's go back to our code. Okay, and so here we have all this stuff. We're going to put it onto our CUDA, so it's running off our GPU. I'm going to change the steps to 8. That's going to make it just a little bit longer. Now, this is the where we're getting our base model from. And then if you go through the actual website here, you're going to see that down here there's a lot of, where did it go? Different models that you can use. And they use Epic Realism. So you can play around with that on your own. Gosh, man, if I could figure out where I'm going. Okay, so we're going to go back here, and we can see that they chose Epic Realism here. So they're pulling it from here. So you can play around with this, find models. You can put this in here, figure this out on your own, kind of tweak around with it. And then let's not worry about the rest of this stuff, just knowing that it's important. And then here's where our output's going to go. Output equals pipe, and then prompt, it's going to send the prompt, a girl smiling. Oh, so sweet, okay? So, or let's put a beautiful redhead dancing in a ballroom gown. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save that. We're going to hit Control S, okay? It's going to export it here to a GIF, or GIF, however you want to pronounce it. And then we're going to go over here to our terminal. Okay, now let's go ahead and we're going to type python animate.py. Now what it's going to do is it's going to load this thing. It's going to have to download the model for use. Oh, look at it. Wants us to install transformers. So it just says, so let's go pip install transformers. Okay, so it's going to go ahead, install the. That's one of the things about this. Like a lot of it is just hit and miss. You're running and then seeing the error and then you're fixing it. So a lot of times with dependencies, if you can figure it out straight away, great. If you can't, you just run it and it'll tell you what it's missing and then you just pip install it. Okay. Remember, if you can't find it on pip, type PYPI on the internet and then type it, and you'll find a web page that will give you the piece de resistance of pip installs. So I'm going to hit the up arrow a couple times. It's going to take us back to that. We're going to try running it again. Okay, and we see, oh, there it is now. So it's working. You can see it's loading the model. Okay. And it's just kind of, oh, there it's going. We're making some progress. This is pretty cool. Okay. All right, so now it's done. So watch what's going to happen. It's going to put it in the same directory that we're in. So let me go ahead and I'll put this, let's go back to our internet here. I will grab the animation it made, if I can find it, and let's put it over to here. And there you go. I mean, that's amazing, right? That's really good. And we made that just within seconds. So think of all the things you can do this. You could have a chat bot where you're having conversations, storylines, or whatever, and in the middle of the story, you could give the person the option to animate the story, and the prompt will become the portion of story that they're at. So, like you're in a village, and a bartender, a waitress walks up to you with a smile on her face, right? And you click animate it, and it takes from your chatbot prompt. Beautiful barmaid walks up, says hi, puts it in there, and then it animates it for your user. That's really cool. That's what's so powerful about doing this stuff in Python, is that you can just link these things all together. So now, before we move on, though, I want to show you something else. What we want to do, if you notice, if we go back to this, we would have to run it again, okay, to do another one, and that means we have to go through all the loading again. So we don't really want to do that, okay? So while this one's loading up, okay, let's go back to our code, and I'm going to show you a trick. We're going to go ahead and hit Control A, that selects all of it, and we're going to go Control C. Now let's head back to the interwebs, okay? And we're going to do one of my favorite tricks here. We're just going to go to ChatGPT, so chat.openai.com, okay? And now watch this. I'm going to say add a loop. God, if I could spell. Add a loop to this code, and then we'll just paste it in. Now, ChatGPT is going to go through here. It's going to figure it out. Okay, no, let's try it like this. We don't like this. What I want it to do is we're going to say, rather make a loop that asks for a new prompt each time. Okay, I should have done that better. All right, so now it's going to go ahead. It's going to rewrite our code for us. And it's going to put this while true in there, which is great. So we'll just go here, copy that code. Okay, now we're going to head back to our code. All I'm going to do is press Control A, Control V, and we're going to save it. Okay? Now, heading back to the terminal. I'm just hopping all over the place here. We're going to go back here. Okay? Now, we're going to run it, and it should give us a loop each time. So I'm going to press the up arrow, so I don't have to type that all in again. This time it will load the model, but we don't have to keep loading it each time. Okay, it's just going to load it once, and then we can do all of our stuff. So it's going to save a whole hell of a lot of time. And this is, in fact, what you would do if you're running this with some kind of chatbot software or something like that, is that you would load it at the beginning. When you load the chatbot, you would also load the model. In fact, that's what they do with Cobalt CPP, really good program for chatbots. They have a built-in graphics image generator, but they don't have a built-in video generator. So anyway, so here it says enter a prompt for the animation. So we're going to say a dog chasing a tennis ball. Okay. So it's going to go ahead and generate it, and this should be done. There, it's done. Now it's going to pop up. So let's see. We'll go over here to the internet again, and let's see what it created. Oh, poop. Hold on a second. Put that in the wrong place. Let's put it over here. There it is. So that's a goofy picture, but you can see it did that in seconds. So you could tweak around with it, do it now. We don't have to load it again, so let's go back. And this time we'll say a beautiful, dark-haired Scandinavian, I don't know, wielding a sword. Those Nordic types. Yo. So, okay. So now it's the same thing. It's going to finish doing that. And see, and then we're going to be on to the next one. So if we go back to our internet again, we can pull over the video if I can find it. And where did that go? Okay. And there you go. Oh, that's scary, man. I'll tell you. Don't date crazy, right? So there you have it. That's really very cool stuff, isn't it? It was not that difficult. All we did was we found the right model. We downloaded the text that we needed to put in there. Okay. We installed the Conda environment and did all of our packaging in it so that it worked well. And then we ran it. Okay, and then after it was run, we got real clever. We threw it into ChatGPT, said give it a loop, and now we have it all going. So that is the gist. I mean, I've got you going. Listen, that's huge. What we just did is huge, okay? It's taken a long time to kind of figure out how to do that because you don't know that Hugging Face exists. You don't know where to look. You don't even know what you're looking for. I am telling you, right here, I've started you on the path that is going to save you a lot of time of trying to figure out what to do. Take that code and now start to tweak it. Start to play with it. We're going to do another video on how to run an LLM, a chatbot out of the Python. Start to combine these things, okay? Have a lot of fun with it. Make something very cool. Go out and make yourself famous and then tell them it was Jim Day that went ahead and he was the one that got you going on the right path. And we'll go famous together, okay? Hey, seriously, you stay good. We'll talk to you next time. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here for you, okay? Stay good.